and it says that we are live. So away we go. So today, Hammer, I thought for fun that we'd do just, just kind of a this and that. But I wanted to ask you, what is it that you think is the number one reason that people fail?
Well, I guess we've had this conversation before, so it won't be guessing, but because, like you say, we stopped doing the things that made us successful.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
And I agree with you. And I think that there are multiple things that are going on. And I was thinking about, you and I had a kind of like pre-conversation before, and I've come up with a couple of things. So number one, I believe that people stopped doing whatever it was that was getting them the success that they were having, whether they were dieting or they were, they were on some career path, that where they were getting up 30 minutes earlier and doing their mantras or whatever it is. And then for whatever reason, they stop. And I was thinking about that part, and who knows where this conversation is going to go. But if you think in terms of move towards, move away, a lot of the population, doesn't matter where in the world that they are, that people move away from pain. So if it's the pain of being overweight or the pain of doing drugs or alcohol, or the pain of whatever, relationship that they're moving away from it. And when they get far enough away from the pain, it goes away. And I think that, well, I think that Bandler was correct that we need a propulsion system, where you're moving away from something and moving towards something else. But I just thought we'd kind of like talk about it, and I told you a story offline. I'll go ahead and tell the story. Thousands of years ago, when I had hair, I owned a personal training company for 17 years, and this one fellow, he came in and he's a short, fat guy. There's no other way to describe it. He was short and he was overweight. And his doctor sent him to see me to lose 41 pounds. And I mean, he was a monster. He did everything he was supposed to do. He ate right, he drank water, he did cardio on his own, and all of these things. And I mean, the day that he lost 41 pounds, he motored down into a maintenance mode. He stayed with me for a couple of years, but from that point forward, he no longer pushed himself because he had achieved his goal. And I learned two really important things. Number one, your customers, their goals are not your goals, they're their goals, and you have to respect that. But the other thing that I subsequently learned because of more training and stuff like that is he didn't have a plan that moved past this imaginary finish line. And I think that when people are doing something, that they need to do some advanced planning. What are you going to do 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now? What's that going to look like in order for them to continue this path? What do you think?
I think you're onto something quite real here because I don't have a 5-year plan at the moment. My plan at the moment is like 3 months. Is like 3 months ahead, and
Mhm.
I guess I'm not sure whether it's you I've heard this from or from from other mentors and
Mhm.
coaches. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know
Mhm.
when you actually get there? And I think that you know, there's a lot of forces in play there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, because if we don't know what our target is, how can we possibly know if I'm going around in a circular loop here, and this may have had more than a little impact on the results that I've been getting. I think I mentioned to you earlier I was going on a particular track, and I got I was going out fundraising, talking to people, and I noticed the type of people that I was talking to affected my heart energy,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to stop doing this job because it was making me it was making me feel depressed and uncomfortable. And then the next thing, 3 months worth of abstinence from sugar
Mm-hmm.
went out of the window completely. All of a sudden, I'm running away from the uncomfort, from the discomfort of something that hadn't been giving me the results that I wanted, and from the pain of not getting
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted, and seeking comfort from something that I know is really just legalized rat poison. So what's that all about?
Well, two things popped up into my head while you were talking about that. I'm like, we don't need to turn this into an intervention, but I do have a couple of questions for you to consider. Is one of them is when you were doing that and you were around, there's actually three things. When you were around those people, were you experiencing a lack of sweetness in your life? That's question one. Question two would be, were you feeling bitter? And you know, and it could be a combination of those two or some completely answer. But that was the first thing that popped up is if you've been living without sugar and it's been no problem and stuff, and then you get around these people, you know, obviously your somatic body wants something.
I wasn't getting certainly a lack of a sweetness in humans. Sweetness definitely was experiencing that. I hadn't It hadn't really occurred to me that that may have actually manifested itself as a craving for something as disgusting as and unhealthy as sugar. As
Mm-hmm.
sugar really is.
And we did talk about that, you know, there's this nifty little natural thing called honey that is like really good for you. And you know, maybe that's a possibility. But if you want to be, you know, like sugar free or something like that, no problem. The third thing that I thought about really doesn't have to do with as much NLP or hypnosis, so we might think, is that when you are around people that you're engaging, do you have a sense of whether you're reaching out and touching them on the nose with your energy, or are you wrapping your energy around them and or worse, stepping into them and feeling all of that chaos?
Sadly, it depends on each individual interaction with
Sure.
people. You know, when I'm interacting with 50 people during the course of the day, uh,
Mhm.
yes, invariably one or two of them I will embody their energy, and it's not a I'll get drawn into it. Most of the time I am touching them on the nose,
Mhm.
like you say. It's interesting because I have to keep an open heart in order to
Mhm.
attract people when I'm attracting passes. by it, but it's how to protect it. And some of our one of our mentors talked about this open heart trust trigger, which generates that sense of rapport and sameness and comfort with people. But another mentor, whose name will remain anonymous, to protect the innocent from here, showed a version of this open heart trigger where you actually put a spike in front of it. You know that one, do you?
Yeah. You put a box.
Yeah. Well, this one is like almost like a spear, like a spearhead.
Oh, okay.
So it still allows it to breathe and be open, but there's a spike on the end of it. So if they get too close to it, they actually
the version that I heard was that there's a box.
A box.
A box, and it's about, it's outside, and I live in Texas, so I have a pretty big bubble around me, but this box is at the edge of my bubble, and when I encounter people, their energy goes through the box, is filtered so that I get clean, clear energy, and they can do whatever it is that they want outside of my bubble.
I like that.
And when I got energy trained, they talked about, reaching your energy out or wrapping your energy around, but nobody ever talked about what is it that other people do. And if you're around people and you're interacting with them and you say, "Hi, how's it going?" You have invited them, but they may not have the acumen or the training to only extend their energy out to make contact. They may go and wrap around you and unintentionally or intentionally suck you dry. So that's why I have my double, Ultra Mambo reinforced bubble around me. They have to have permission to come in.
Yeah.
And that might be something that you might want to consider is what is your bubble doing?
Yeah.
Okay. But we have diverse off of our topic. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about in terms of what it is that makes people succeed or fail in whatever it is they're doing? I think the number one word that I would like people to come away from this conversation is whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're going to take on or you're attempting to accomplish, is it sustainable? Is there a level of sustainability that allows you to engage in the other areas of your life as well? Because we've all heard about the workaholics or the partyaholics and whatever it is, and all of their attention goes to that one area of their life. There's no balance.
Balance.
So anyway, just a short conversation today. Hopefully that this was useful. Again, if you ever have any questions about our videos, please feel free to contact Hamer, or you can reach out to me by direct message, and we will talk to your happy faces later.